Shut up and sit down. Shut up and sit down.
Marshall's still going. Marshall's got Richards coming up outside. Now inside. Richards pursued. He pushes Jensen away. Pat Richards has scored.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Welcome everybody, and guess whose birthday it is today? Aaron.
No, not mine.
What a week to have birthdays. Round one coming up was like the best birthday present ever.
I know, right? It's always been a thing of like, hey, it's my birthday. That means footy season's just around the corner. I think it was maybe 2018 where the first game of round one was Dragons versus Broncos, and it was actually on my birthday.
Oh, how good.
Good times. Good times.
Evening, AJ. How do you like the
AJ,
team list?
Thank you.
Yes. And how do you like the team list? No Nathan Cleary. Everybody's freaking out. I've had like 50 notifications today from all the different media outlets, like from Twitter and that, and it's all doom and gloom. So, looks like our season's over already. I'll see you next year, guys.
Tigers for premiers. Let's go.
You're going to have to now. That's it. No choice. Imagine beating Melbourne in your birthday week, AJ said. Jeez, imagine that.
I'm not confident, but I'd love to see it.
Like, that would be pretty cool.
Just send the Tigers a message on Twitter or something. Hey, can you make sure the team beat the Storm for my birthday today? Please and thank you.
Imagine that. They lose. Nah, you let me down, guys. That was my birthday present.
Worst birthday present ever.
Yeah. How are you with the team list that they've gone with?
I have some thoughts on it. We'll get to that.
He has some thoughts on it.
Round one hype, let's go.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited.
What a time to be alive.
I know, right? The off season feels so bloody long, and then you get there and you're like, wait, is it happening? Especially like I think that week off after the trials is actually really deflating. I don't know, there's something about it that just really throws me off. mentally, I'm like, get all excited because, you know, the trial's starting up. You're like, oh, the football's coming back. And then you have the week off and you're like, oh. And you sit there all weekend just waiting on nothing.
Normally I'd agree, but it was so good having the NRLW to be able to watch, to give us at least a little bit of a footy fix.
Yeah, see, that'd be
3
great.
games on Sunday. It was a heck of a triple header.
Yeah, see, I have to work weekend now, so I miss all that, unfortunately.
Hey, Twally.
I put Twirl in my fantasy team. Justice for
Right,
Twirl is
Twirl,
catching on.
my game day ritual for this year is going to be hashtag try for Twal.
That'll be good. I hope he does, though. It'll be good.
Yeah, pretty keen. Would love to see it. Would make my year, really.
Wonder if anyone has gone that long without scoring a try.
I think someone's made it into the 90s of games. I think Twal's still in the 80s.
Yeah, there you go. So at least he's not the worst yet.
Yet. Give it potentially 5 to 10 rounds.
Yeah.
See if he can get his first try before his 100th game.
Well, yeah, unless he's holding out to get it on his 100th game just because he likes to celebrate a big milestone.
I'm still annoyed that Tarmo stole one off him last year. Bloody Tarmo.
He must rue. I wonder if he ever thinks about that. He's just sitting there one day and he's like, damn, I could have had a try.
If not for fucking Tarmo.
Yeah, that fucking prick right there. Give him. But yeah, so tonight we're just going to have a bit more casual stream. Maybe go over some team lists and talk about our round one.
Early tips.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what everyone's looking forward to. I know I am. I mean, who wouldn't be at this point? What else are you going to be thinking about?
Exactly. I've got the stresses of all my tipping comps starting up again this week, so...
Oh my god, that's... See, I'm glad I don't go into any of those with actual money. Oh, I couldn't do the stress of the actual financial ones. It'd kill me. Like, I already ride the neutral games when I'm in tipping comps that don't actually really mean much at the end, and I'm already going off. Alright, so, yeah, since AJ's the only one here, the one we'll go into first, I think, is definitely Nathan Cleary. That's what everyone's talking about at the moment.
First cab off the rank.
Yeah.
First game of the season.
I mean, that seems to be the big one. I mean,
a little over 48 hours away, and then we are off and racing.
I still can't believe that. It doesn't sound real. Does that sound real to anyone else? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It's like 48 hours. You're like, oh, hang on a minute. That's actually a thing.
It's time.
But yeah, all I can say is I'm absolutely glad that we got Sean O'Sullivan. I know, yeah, he's not a world beater or anything, but I saw there was a comment on Reddit and people are like basically having a laugh that Penrith fans were happy he played well in the trials, but I mean, for a backup, are you really that concerned? It's not like you can have like Jonathan Thurston as your backup half or something like that.
I mean, it's not too shabby.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you guys getting Jackson Hastings sort of thing. It's like, you know, he's probably the better version, I'd say. I mean, I don't want to downplay Hastings. I think he's more talented, but, you know, it's not like you're looking for a world beater here. You got a whole salary cap to look out for. I'm keen as time to defend this premiership. Hell yeah. Like, it's so exciting. And, like, it's just funny, the one I'm keen for those, when looking through the team list, I'm really glad that Charlie Staines is on the wing again. I really want him to develop and see if he can get a spot. And if he doesn't in the end, at least, well, we know that Ivan Cleary's given him a fair shot. He had the first, at least half of last year. A little bit the year before here and there, just in bits and pieces, but he had injuries. And if he gets some time this year, because I'm actually a big fan of his. I think he's got good instincts. His defense is fantastic, but obviously the big one is his size. Everyone says, oh, he gets pushed back on his hit-ups and that, which is fair. I mean, he's had, I think, 3 preseasons total with the club, so because they brought him out from the bush and all that, so time to develop like physically and all that sort of stuff will happen. I mean, look at Adokar though. I mean, he still gets dominated in tackles and that. It's not like you've got him there to be an extra prop. They're not your Mansour type wingers though, so I don't know.
Tell you what though, what do you think of the 24 player squad lists? It's a lot of reserves.
Yeah, I guess considering the COVID stuff, it kind of needs to happen now.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about the COVID side of things.
I don't know specifically, but I assume that's what it's about. It's like giving them the extended squad now, so they've got options.
I thought what they were doing was going to be 22 player squads instead of 21. So last year, how we had the 21, but we introduced the 18th man. So having that 22nd player on the team list would mean you could still knock off 2 a day before kickoff, and then knock off another 2 an hour before kickoff, and still have that that 18th man on the list.
Yeah.
So instead of knocking off 2, then 1, you're still knocking off 2, then 2.
Yeah, I think it's just a redundancy thing, covering their bases.
Hmm.
Yeah, just like overkill, I guess, just to make sure of it. But I haven't actually seen anything official on it, but that's my guess. And especially because people do tend to get it in groups because of how contagious it all is.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where it's like it jumps from person to person to person. And it's like, oh, great. Half your team's gone. So, I don't know. It's going to be weird how they handle that from now on, because obviously over time we're going to get into more and more of just it's a normal part of life, because I mean, I'm no expert, but I assume it's not something they're going to be able to just completely get rid of now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, eventually it's just going to be one of those parts of life. Chat's awful quiet tonight. Where is everybody? What's going on? They all got so excited for round 1 there. Forgot to come see what's going on.
Nah, we'll make it work.
Yeah. Though I will say I'm happy to still see Gildart in the centres for you guys.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he goes.
Like one of those, I think centre was one of those positions where you guys were sort of had question marks, I guess.
Yeah, and it'll be good to see Jimmy the Jet have another shot, considering the start of the year he was on a trial deal.
Well, yeah, he got bumped up pretty quick there, so hopefully that works out, because, I don't know, he's one of those guys who was all talent and everything and had the skill, and I don't know, he just fell off. I guess his off-field wasn't too good.
He must have really impressed over the off-season and pre-season.
Well, you'd assume so. I imagine doesn't seem like the kind of guy to give out freebies.
No, definitely not.
He's a bit of a hardline kind of guy. Where are we? Yes. And speaking of centers, we got Isaac Targo, which is actually really cool too. So it looks like he's the one who will definitely be our next peak center, obviously losing Matt Burton. And
I don't know much about him.
Huge potential. He's one of those guys, young guy. He's all potential. He was one of the better players in the reserve grade comp last year before it basically got cancelled. One of the big reasons, having him is one of the big reasons we were doing so well up there with obviously you guys. I think we were undefeated into round 9 or 10, whatever it was. We played South when we went into the country game when South took their game against us. And then we went the week after. I think we lost the game, so yeah, it was like 9 rounds or something. Yeah, he's really good. He's one to watch out for. Obviously, still a bit raw, like defensively, especially. You'll probably see some odd decisions here and there, but you'd expect.
I thought you guys went on a 12-game winning streak to start the season, and then it was abruptly ended by I won't say who.
Well, that's the reserve grade comp. You got to remember.
No, absolutely not.
The one, Targo was playing reserve grade last year. That's what I was talking about. The first grade team, on the other hand, went undefeated until our game, one of our Origin games. I think both of them were actually cancelled. We were supposed to play you guys and the Sharks, but
oh really? Is that what happens?
That's what happened.
You didn't play us or the Sharks after all, did
no,
you?
But in our generosity, we gave you guys the 2 points because we didn't need them.
I mean, if you were being generous, you could have given our for and against a bigger boost than 16 points. Selfish bastards.
Hey, you do what you can. That's lean times at the moment. But yeah, Stephen Crichton back at centre again. I really like. I know it worked well with him on the wing last year, but I think he's just one of those guys because he is so athletic, can probably play multiple positions just because he can. Like, he's big, tall, strong, got all that stuff happening for him. I don't know how quick he is. I don't know. And AJ might be able to tell us. I don't ever actually remember seeing him really open up, like being a foot race with someone. So I don't actually know how fast he is.
No, I don't know either.
Yeah. Stephen Crichton, you got to show us how quick you are this year. Oh, yeah, we got Jerome Luai. Obviously, Jerome Luai is another one that some Penrith fans have questions over. Whether he can do it without Nathan, basically. I've seen there's I know a couple of people online who are particularly scathing might be the word. They're basically without Nathan, he's pretty much stuff they think. So
well,
I'm
not a fan of him, but I honestly think he is more than capable.
Yeah, like I know a lot of people just don't like him, whatever, but just skill wise, I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because he has been really good before, so I don't know. But then last year when he played without Nathan, it's like maybe I don't know. Depends if it's coaching. Like if they try and get him to play too much like Nathan and stick to certain structures, it just wouldn't work for him. He's just not that kind of player.
According to your casualty ward, you've literally only got 2 players unavailable at the moment.
Which isn't too bad.
You guys are in a really good spot to start the season.
Yeah.
I mean, Nathan Cleary's looking to come back round 4, and then you got Preston Ricky out until mid-season with a hip injury.
Yeah. And he's not even top 17 anyway. So our top 17 is basically just Nathan Cleary out.
And us, on the other hand, so far from what I've seen, we have the biggest, second biggest casualty ward.
Hang on, it's changing as we go. Live updates right here.
The Knights have 7 players unavailable.
Ouch.
Daniel Saifidi, Brodie Jones, Sawaso Sue, Jack Johns, Bailey Hodgson, Hymel Hunt, and Jaden Brayley. All unavailable.
Yeah.
And then players with 6, or the teams with 6 players out are the Broncos, Adam Reynolds, Kobe Hetherington, Brendan Piakura, Tessie New, Tom Flagler, and Xavier Willison. There's the Storm with Jordan Grant, Tom Eisenhuth, Harry Grant, Cameron Munster, Chris Lewis, and Cooper Johns.
Yeah.
And the Tigers with James Tamo, Jacob Little, Adam Dewey, Tommy Talau, Asu Kapoa, and Sean Bloor.
What a way to start your year. You're already like stuffed. Right.
Severely disadvantaged.
Especially Blore.
Just our luck.
I think Blore's a big one. You could have
Yeah,
him.
considering that's a whole season injury.
Yeah, that's always been something he's had, even when he was in lower grades, that he was rated very highly, but it's always kept him back a little bit, which sucks. So, like the way he's going, he's going to have to, hopefully he can get past it, because I don't want to see it ruin his career or anything like that. AJ says our depth is awesome. Hopefully we see Maverick as well once his elbow is better. Yeah, it sucked to see him get injured. Would have been nice.
Not on that casualty ward. That's weird.
I mean, I guess technically he wouldn't have probably played.
Is
any
he not in the
first
top
grade
30?
Anyway. He might not be. I think he's probably at best on a development contract. I definitely don't think he's top 30. Sorry about that.
Interesting.
Yeah. But I mean, he'll get there. He's still quite young again. He's only just coming through now, so. I can see it now. Undermanned Tigers put 40 on the Storm.
Yes, please.
I mean, as far as birthday presents go, that wouldn't be too bad, I think.
Pretty please. I'd like that very much.
Yeah, because we are full strength just about, without Cleary, our forward pack is Leota, Fisher-Harris, Kicker, Martin Yo, Sorensen, Lenu, Eisenhuth, and Kenny as the 14, who obviously interchange with Appy, or he can play lock. He's actually a lock that they turned into a hooker, so he can play lock if need be as well. But yeah, that's pretty much full strength forward pack, which I think is where our big strength is going to be, and I'm looking forward to. That's why
it's going to be a good year for the Mitch Kenny fan club.
I reckon it will be. Like, the more he plays and the more he's around the first grade and everything, the better he'll get. We know he's a hard worker. Like, that's something that's always said about him. So, I mean, if he keeps working at it, I don't see why he can't nail down the spot, especially with Appy going next year. I mean, how much motivation can you say then, hey, by the way, our representative hooker is off to another club next year?
Mine.
Yeah, yours, which hopefully helps you guys out. But, like, he's not going to get a better chance to get a starting spot as a hooker for a team, like anywhere in the NRL than that.
Yeah, for sure. He's going to get the chance this year, and he's going to have to take it.
Yeah, because he's already here. He knows the coaches. He knows the systems. He knows the other players. Like, he's got everything set up perfectly for him, which might be the plan. Just give him that extra year just to keep working on his game. Like, the club definitely has a big thing about not rushing players anymore, because that used to be something that happened. Oh, there's this promising junior. Here you go first grade, be a star. Oh, didn't work out. So now they definitely they like to take their time now. That's why I don't mind what's happening with Charlie Staines as an example. Just let him get some games, let him get the off seasons and his pre-seasons in or whatever, and just develop. And then eventually you've got a stack of guys who can step up. And maybe you can't keep all of them, but at least we're in first place to keep the ones we want.
We keep falling for that trap sometimes. The throw a player in before they're ready sort of trap.
Well, that's why I'm not freaking out about the Tigers. Like, you'll let it take its time, and that's why it's nice to hear some fans starting to see a bit of hope for the future, even if it is next year. Starting to see that come out more, where people are like, okay, maybe 2023 we'll be a little bit better off, and starting to see some green shoots and stuff. Because that now we need it now thing that I think ruins a lot of clubs. They start making desperate decisions, and I mean, what do you expect? You're going to start throwing your salary cap around like an idiot, trying to fix holes that just doesn't work.
We had an unfortunate situation of possibly getting a player in before they were ready last year with Zach Sini. He had an incredible first game, and then in his second game, he could not hold on to a ball to save his life. Yeah, well, and then in his third game in the final round, he again could not hold on to a ball to save his life.
Yeah, they should have given him that debut, then let him go back and be like, right, Yeah, decent game. Maybe play a reserve grade game, to go training, whatever it is. Give him a week off, and then maybe bring him back and be like, right, he's another first grade game. Let him. Because there was a lot of stuff in the media were carrying on like crazy about him and all that.
Oh, yeah, his mates made the headlines in the stand at his disallowed try, and then again when he actually got the try.
Yeah, like it was huge. So just they're still kids at that age. Like, I don't know, maybe it's the old man in me coming up. But I still see them as kids at that age. Like, you don't need to put them under so much pressure.
Exactly.
I mean, Ash Taylor's the perfect example of it. I mean, they threw all this money at him and then said, right, you're going to have to carry our club on your back. Have fun.
Yeah. Oh. Good luck. You're going to need it.
Exactly. Oh, why didn't that work? Oh, I don't know. I can't work it out. Like, take your time. It's not that bad.
So how is Manly's team looking?
They're looking like losers, I think.
Oh, that's a bit cocky.
Look,
just a little bit.
I may be just hiding my fear under false confidence here.
Well, I mean, you do have a point. I hear that they're one of the worst round one teams in the history of ever.
Yeah, that's.
Although I've just seen the sports bet odds, and they're actually favourites.
Yeah, I reckon once Nathan was out, everything. I'm pretty sure it shifted after. Yeah, I think after that news came out, it swung back, and it was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I'm just.
So
fine.
I don't think I need to ask, but who's your tip?
Well, obviously the fan in me says Penrith, but the football person in me, the objective football side of me says it's 50-50.
Oh, come on. You're not allowed to sit on the fence. You give yourself a wedgie.
Oh, no. Like, if I was like tipping for a tipping comp, I'd pick us, obviously, but like I'd never pick against us no matter what. But I can't blame people for saying Nathan being out is a big change because it's huge. Like, there's so much that he brings to it, and particularly, I don't know, because we hands down beat them in the forward pack battle. I mean,
he's
really,
Clive Churchill winning fullback.
Yeah,
halfbacker. Sorry.
Exactly. But no, mainly pretty much. I mean, Jake Trbojevic is the only one in that forward pack. Looking at it now, like he's the only one that really bothers me. Mm-hmm. I mean,
they've got Marty Tapau.
Yeah, but I mean, even he doesn't really bother me that much now. Like, he doesn't strike fear into me like he might have maybe a year or two ago. I think
goes all right off the bench.
Yeah, but I mean, against the premiership winning forward pack, it's like they've got okay guys. Like, you wouldn't be upset, I guess, if you had any of them in your team, but to round out your forward pack. But I'm not looking at that and striking fear into me. Like, I'm not going, oh no, that Manly forward pack, we're all going to die, run for the hills, let's forfeit. Like, it's nothing like that.
Tell you what, though, Manly are absolutely stacked in the back line.
See, that's what I was going to say, is that's where then you do start to worry more, is the back line is fast as hell and there's a lot of skill there.
Mm-hmm. I was just looking at their reserves. They've got friggin' Jason Saab and Ruben Garrick on the wings. And then you throw in a player like bloody George Tafua as a reserve winger, and holy dooly.
Yeah. That's why it worries me, because I'm like, oh, well, okay, yeah, so I think we'll have the better field position.
Mm-hmm.
At least we'll win the forward battle, but then they've got that, so they don't really need field position, so to speak, because
what you got to do is make sure they don't get any intercepts. If they get any intercepts,
you won't catch
you're
them.
Doomed.
You
are 110% doomed.
Yeah, you're stuffed.
Okay, guys, we'll just wait here on this side of halfway for the next kickoff.
Yeah, just might as well just walk up to halfway. Yep. Yeah, so they're good at scoring long range tries. So it's like, I don't know.
Give them the opportunity.
I wouldn't blame anyone for tipping Manly. I just, like I said, have a look at those two forward packs and go from there. I think, as they say, what's that? I was saying forwards win games and backs decide by how much. So if that's the case, going on that, I would still pick Penrith, but not
So
by
you
a
reckon
landslide.
you win the forward battle?
Yeah, and they win the backs probably a bit.
They win the backs. Who wins the halves?
Kieran Foran and Daly Cherry Evans versus O'Sullivan and Luai. I mean, I'd have to say Manly just on that. I mean, as much as people like to give DC a bit of crap, like he's still, Queensland's current halfback, and he is the incumbent Australian halfback until they actually play another game and someone else gets picked. So, I mean, and then Kieran Foran is a premiership winning half in his own right. As much as age is probably getting him a little bit, I would still back him over O'Sullivan, I mean.
Yep.
So,
what about the battle of the benches? Who's got the upper hand there?
They put the koala there. Interesting. Hey, Pete's here.
Kula.
Woohoo! Yeah,
Tolatau Kula.
it's an interesting one. He again is another
Pete,
really.
welcome.
He's another speedster as well. So it's like they've decided. You know what? If we run faster than everyone else, doesn't matter. Huh? Just get lots of really
choice for the what's the word I'm thinking of? Utility. That's the one.
Well, yeah,
Mental blank.
the 14 is definitely normally the utility. I mean, maybe other people know about him better than I do, but as far as I know, he looks to me like a winger or whatever, and maybe he plays center. I guess I don't know. But I think we definitely take the bench. I mean, we've got Spencer Leniu, who's basically been developing for like 2 or 3 years now.
Yep.
I mean, he's on the bench.
Got Eisenhuth.
We've got Eisenhuth.
That's the problem one.
Yeah. I was going to try to say something nice about him, but honestly, I really don't rate him at all. I was going to be like, well, he's experienced. And then everyone in the entire world would be like, we know you're trying to cover for him. Like, I would, AJ says I prefer Hopgood over Eisenhuth, and yes, I agree. I would much prefer Hopgood. I'm a fan of his. He's good. I think he's a locked-in first grader. First chance he gets. I don't know why they're like Eisenhuth, but Ivan Cleary has a soft spot for plotting forwards. I don't know what it is. He's strange decisions. I'd take Hopgood,
Yeah.
but
Thoughts on Taylor May?
He's another one who's it was pretty much going to be him or Staines for the wing spot. So he's another one with huge raps on him. He's really quick too. So yeah, we got our own speedsters to stuff that man. But he won't play this game though. Like, he's at 21. Our bench is Kenny, Sorensen, Leniu, Eisenhuth. So may all play in the reserve grade comp, but he's pretty much right there, like on that edge. It's basically if Staines has an off day, May will slip straight into that wing spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My early tip for that game is going to be you guys. I agree with you. I feel like your forwards have it over them. Their backs have it over you. And that is what's going to keep it close.
Yeah.
Because you can never rule out an intercept try or two from Manly.
Well, yeah, and even just like if they get a bit desperate and they try and bring that speed into play in different ways, I mean, they've got points in them, like you can't deny it. So, and lacking Nathan Cleary, especially his kicking game, like, yeah, I said we'd win the field position battle, but it won't be a complete walkover in any sense because we'll
No,
lack that
at the
kicking
moment
game.
I'm leaning towards you guys by 4, so we'll see how that changes over the next 48 hours.
Yeah. I mean, you look. They'll start if they get desperate. They'll start doing those tricky little kicks early in sets to their fast guys and all those little things that people do when they get desperate. So,
And always got to be wary of Cherry Evans 40-20s. He got one against us in the trial.
yeah, someone's been practicing these. Been really good at it for a couple of years now. That's why when they have been so bad, I'm surprised because he's got a decent enough kicking game, like, and they've had reasonable forwards in the past. So I don't know. I mean, not world beaters by any sense, but I don't know. But it has been good to see Kieran Foran at least stay healthy for a while. I'm surprised he didn't like fall to pieces first time he touched the ball. He was like made of Lego when he was at the Dogs prior.
Yeah, he hasn't had a good run of it, but yeah, it's definitely good to see him get another go. Injury free. See how he goes for Manly. I've seen a few people tip Manly for like second and minor premiers, and I'm still sticking with my Manly in 4th. I think they'll be great against the bottom teams, but they won't be as great against the full strength top 4-ish.
Yeah, it's really. I don't know how you can tip them for that. Honestly, like, I mean, Turbo's really good, I guess, but I mean, I don't know, that it might be a little bit much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, get a bit ahead of yourself. Like, they've still got to get past teams like the Roosters and Storm and that. I mean, the Storm handled them perfectly in the finals. Like, you saw that. They never looked like they were a chance. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a bit getting a bit ahead of yourself.
I tell you what, though, is this game actually going to be at Penrith?
Yeah, as far as I know.
I hear Penrith's been getting a whole lot of the flooding.
But yeah, I mean, I haven't heard there's any changes, but
Club probably giving it every chance possible. I was debating if they had to move it. I was debating where they'd move it to, and I was leaning towards Bankwest.
Well, yeah, because that's the next closest decent sized stadium. I mean, where else would they move it to other than maybe in the city? But
You got a bigger capacity at Bankwest as well. You may even pack out a fair bit of the stadium.
But yeah, the team list. I just went into the official Panthers like website and that where the team lists and that are, and yeah, they say it's still played there. A bit Penrith. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, maybe I haven't got out there and sort of dragged all the water at himself.
I was just looking at the draw, thinking if you guys don't play at Penrith in round 1, when do you go back there? And you're not back there till round 4. You've got an away game in Wollongong, Cogra in round 2, and then you're in Bathurst for round 3 before going back home to play the Rabbits in round 4.
Yeah, that would suck, winning the premiership and then having a month without a game at home. If I remember correctly, Pete is a Broncos supporter. Hope you're still here. The chat's been a bit slow tonight. How are you with the Broncos team? That's going to suck for them. Adam Reynolds, that would do the whole will he, won't he thing. I remember it came out that he was going to play, and then now he won't be there.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. Did he get named on the reserves or anything? No, he's not even in the reserve. So yeah, definitely not playing.
Yeah, he's.
But I think it makes sense because I heard that the first day he's allowed back to team training and stuff is Thursday. So that's not a lot of time between Thursday and then the game on Friday night to get a bit of running and stuff done and keeping match fit. So probably a good thing to not play him. The last thing you want to do is risk injuring your super signing.
Well, yeah, it's a long season. You've got time. Don't need to rush things.
You can probably afford to lose a game in round one when you're playing the grand final runners up.
Exactly.
Unless you're the Bulldogs, then you kind of have to win round one and round two, or you're absolutely screwed.
Yeah. Especially with all the talk about pressure on Trent Barrett and all that sort of stuff. I don't know. You got to give them time. They're the perfect example of just trying too hard for right now. They needed a coach to go in there and have like 3 years to get through it. Because first you have to get the roster you want. Then you have to get them working together and get all your systems that you want in place. Like, it takes time. Because even when the Roosters got, Tedesco and Cronk and all that, the first half of the year wasn't particularly spectacular or anything. But then once they got going, they were fine. I mean, they won 2 grand finals in a row. They went back to back. So it's like, even one of the most champion teams ever took their own time to get where they needed to be.
I mean, hey, that'll do it.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I think everyone keeps talking about at the moment. Trent Barrett's got like 10 rounds, and that's it. He's done if he's not winning any games. So.
Well, let's have a look at the Bulldogs' first 10 rounds then.
Yeah,
because it's not great. It's not pretty reading. Cowboys away, Broncos at home, Manly away, Melbourne away, Penrith at home, Rabbits away, Broncos away, sorry. Roosters at home, Raiders away, and Knights at home. That is horrible. They may win 3 of those at most.
Yeah. Yeah. Poor Trent Barrett. Sorry.
They have all of last year's top 5 in that first 10 rounds. All of last year's top 5.
Like, the NRL just said stuff just completely dunked on them, didn't they? Like,
pretty much. But I mean, when you win the wooden spoon, the following year is always going to be tough because literally every game is against the team that finished higher than you.
Exactly. There is no one who finished below you.
The bright spot for the Tigers is that they have 3 teams that finished below them, and they play all 3 of those teams twice each. So we've got 6 games against teams that finished below us.
Yeah, which is a nice change from last year because you guys had a hell of a first month or so. Well, that's first 6 weeks, whatever it was.
Yeah, first 6 weeks was pretty rough last year. We should have won 3, lost 3, given results and how they all ended up. But to only win 1 and lose 5, we were well and truly on the back foot for the entire season.
Yeah. But
although no documentary being filmed in Tigerland this year, so hopefully that takes a little bit off the players.
That's funny. Everyone
focus on doing their thing.
Yeah. Speaking of that, everyone got defensive at me and were like, "No, it's Tigers." I said it wasn't a great thing. They should not done it. And everyone was like, "No, it's fine. The Tigers didn't do it anyway. It's not their fault." And it's like, turned out it just ended a big joke for them in the end. Like, and I said, like, why would you do it? I'd be like, no. We need to get our house in order. If you want to come back when we play finals or something. Oh, but I wouldn't have let it happen. It was just not the right time.
Yeah, I agree. It was good to get the insight. I really did enjoy the insight, but yeah, timing could have been a bit better.
Yeah, like the only real positive thing I got out of it was Adam Dewey.
The leadership that he showed.
Yeah, like I really liked his part in it all. I liked seeing him. I got a lot of respect for him out of that. But other than that, there wasn't really much in it other than, Madge likes to say the F word.
And just passion. We'll call it passion.
And I'm sure there's more to him than that, and they just edited it because it looks dramatic, but still, as an audience member, when that's really all you see from him, it's not really. Yeah. I don't know.
An excessive amount of F-bombs, but you could see the passion he had for the club.
Yeah, which is one of the things. Like, I figured anyway, like, he loves the sport and he wants to try hard. You can see that anyway. Like, didn't really need the doco for that sort of stuff. But, yeah, it's like, man, when you're doing that at halftime, the players aren't listening to you. or even before the game or whatever, like they're just tuning out. If every second word is the F word and you're carrying on like that, you've got to learn to communicate with people in a way that's going to actually grab their attention.
There were a couple games in the first episode where he actually was like, you could see him having one-on-ones with some of the players prior to the game.
Yeah.
Like there were 2 players he was kneeling on the floor with before we played the Eels on Easter Monday, where he was discussing things with them. He interacted with a few of the players as they were coming in after the warm-ups in round 1 against the Raiders.
Yeah.
So he's got to find the right way to do it, and I think that is the right way. He just didn't do it the right way often enough. But I guess the pressure came from the excessive amount of losses. So,
well, yeah, that's something that is obviously going through the club. There'd be so much pressure on everyone, and he's probably one of the biggest because he's the one in the firing line. He's the scapegoat. You know,
we've got a chance for a bit of a better start this year, which is nice. I feel realistically the best outcome from our first 6 games is 4 wins, 2 losses. And that's if I'm being a bit generous.
Yeah, well, if you're going to get wins, you shouldn't. The start of the season is a good place to do it because everyone hasn't really got into their groove yet. That and Origin time
are something we need to do.
Yeah, that and the Origin time are good places to take advantage if you're able to. Of course, the problem is your own team is still getting its thing together, so I don't know. It'll really depend on their attitude. If they brought what they brought mentally for that trial, I mean, I don't see why they can't at least match your expectations there. I mean,
I hope so. I'm hoping that we can at least keep it close with the Storm, but I'll get more on that when we get to that game. We've got a couple Friday games and a couple other Saturday games first.
Yeah.
As for the Rabbits, what do you think of their team? What do you think of the 1 and the 7?
Let me just find them.
1, they've got Taff. 7, they've got Ilias, which is kind of what I thought would happen.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure that was already kind of called.
But I do wonder what happens with Taff and Ilias once Latrell comes back next week.
Well, yeah. I would suggest, I think who they've put in there now is who's like, if he's in the 7 now, I think you'll probably keep it.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, is Taff just there in the 1 because they believe he's a better 1, and then we'll shift to the halves? Like, I don't know. It's hard to know.
Exactly.
I mean,
there's a lot of questions there.
I mean, this is why we need fans from other clubs here, because they would know who the better half is from these guys who have very little first grade.
How do you feel about Capewell getting the captaincy?
I mean, I love it. I'd love to hear what Broncos fans think, but I think it's great. I mean, he's just come from a premiership, and he's probably one of the big reasons we got it through his professionalism and work ethic. So, I mean, I said the same things about Tamo, and look what that got me.
Yeah, not very far, and got me angry.
Yeah, maybe I should say, nah, it's a terrible choice. He sucks.
And then let him prove you wrong that way instead.
Exactly. And when he proves me wrong, then everyone's happy. But I think it's a cool choice. He deserves it, and you can see why, because he's a work ethic type player. And so it's a good one. He's the one who will lead through his actions, sort of thing. And the Broncos of all clubs kind of need that at the moment. I mean, one of the biggest issues seems to be that effort factor. So hopefully he can help.
What do you think of the Rabbits forward pack this year? It looks pretty formidable. I don't think any changes from last year. Was Totola a starting front rower last year?
Totola, Nichols, Kolomatagi, Arrow, Murray. Burgess is back there again.
They have a very dangerous bench.
Yeah, I wonder what they're doing. I'm surprised Burgess isn't starting, but I mean, maybe they just really want like really, really good impact off the bench. I don't know. I don't know enough about.
Spread your front rowers out. Yeah, spread your front rowers out so you've always got one of the superstars on any time. I mean,
yeah,
you'll get quality minutes from Mark Nichols. I'm not sure what Tavita Totola is going to bring, but Tom Burgess,
I guess that
he'll definitely pull his weight.
Well, I think Totola's one of those strong carry kind of guys, impact hit ups. So probably just gives them Totola and Nichols, gives them a work rate and an impact guy, and then Burgess can come on later, probably for Totola, and it just, like you were saying, it just kind of keeps rolling that way. They never lose out then.
Yeah, that was my logic.
Which, I agree with that. I think that's what they're doing, and it makes sense. That way you don't have any downtime, because the last thing you want is you bring your best forwards off at 20 minutes and then you have, 15, 20 minutes of downtime or whatever until they come back on. And then you bring it back on again. You're like, oh, okay, then and it's like, you don't want to see you can see a visible drop off in a lot of teams when that happens.
Mm-hmm. As for tips, I think it's going to take this Broncos team a while to gel, especially without Reynolds there for round one. I think they're pretty long odds to get the win in this one. They've still got a relatively young team. They're probably going to be a little bit too overexcited without that main leader there in Reynolds. So I think they'll come out of the blocks firing, but I don't think they'll be able to maintain the rage. So I've got the Rabbits winning probably around the 2 to 3 try mark.
Yeah. I think the Rabbitohs will win. I think they've still got the better team overall. I mean, I'd like the Broncos to get some wins. I felt so sorry for them the last few years. I'm not the kind of person who wants to lay the boot into teams outside maybe a joke or two here and there, a few memes or whatever. But yeah, I don't think the Broncos win that. I mean, Adam Reynolds is the big reason why I think they're going to be better this year. So when he comes back, then I think they'll be a lot better for that.
Yeah, for sure. But he's only missing 1 week, so he'll be back next week to play. Who do the Broncos play next week? Let's have a look.
That's why I'm not freaking out. I know Broncos fans probably like, oh no, we wanted Adam Reynolds, but I don't think it's the end of the
Dogs,
world.
that's right.
Yeah. So they'll get Adam Reynolds back and then they'll play the Dogs.
Good luck, doggies.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very winnable game, that one. But I mean, they're one of those clubs who the mental side of the game seems to be letting them down. So it's like, which Broncos is going to show up?
Yeah, for sure.
Because I do like.
So
forwards.
why don't we backtrack to the first Friday game?
Raiders Sharks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've always had some nice. They've always been kind of close. I don't know. They always have good games. Always will tip one way or the other, and it'll be really, really close.
And you'll never know which way it's going to go until right at the very end.
Yeah, they just have a habit of doing that.
Nico Hines, I expected to play in the 6, not the 7. I don't think. Do you think Moylan's going to last long in the Sharks team?
I mean, for a start, there's questions over can he stay fit.
That too.
And then,
but that
even
aside,
if he does,
do you think he will last long?
If he stays fit, I think he will. I think he's the most naturally talented eyes-up footballer they've probably got in that team.
Yeah, okay.
He's an amazing ball player. He's probably one of the best naturally talented eyes-up ball playing players in the comp. His issue's always been fitness, really getting those hamstring injuries and that. So, yeah, yes, pending injuries. I think the one that they're going to struggle with is a game managing halfback. That's where their problem's going to be. I mean,
I
you know,
mean, Hines is a very good fullback. He's more than serviceable as a fullback. It's just going to,
well,
can
yeah,
he transfer those fullback skills to play in the 7 role consistently?
because they basically they're going to have 2 5'8" / fullbacks playing in the halves. I mean, how does that work? They got no one who can actually game manage, or at least by the looks of it.
Yeah, it's weird because I always thought Moylan was more of a fullback too.
Yeah, like he's a fullback 5'8". I'd play him in either of those, and I would do the same for. That's why it doesn't make any sense to me. So I know it's like Chad Townsend left, and then they're like, "Oh, what do we do?" I don't know. Just put someone there; they'll do the job. So I don't know. I'm just looking at the Raiders now, and I think the Raiders will take them.
You reckon?
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
I've got this one as a bit of a coin flip at the moment.
Yeah, I would personally. I'll take the Raiders in like a small win, maybe 1 or 2 tries. Let's say 6 points. I think if I had to.
I think it's going to be within 6 points either way. I'm just not sure which way yet.
Yeah. Like at least they have Jack White and Brad Snyder's a bit of an unknown for me. But like you got Papali'i.
James Schiller as well, another unknown in the centres.
Yeah, but like you've still got a decent forward pack. Papali'i, Hodgson at hooker, Tapine, Hudson Young, Corey Harawira, Naira, Elliot Whitehead, Starling. You know, it's a reason. There's some reasonable forwards there who I think can carry them through the game, and then White, as long as he remembers to run the ball here and there, he'll be all right.
Sharks are one of those teams that might start slow, but they're going to come good, and I think that's probably the main thing for them.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they're bad by any means. I don't know. At least because I think, like as an example, I think the Raiders' kicking game is going to be better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got 2, like I said, ice up footballers playing in the halves, so there's going to be no game managing at all there, and that kicking game's not really right. But as I don't know what Snyder's like, but even Josh Hodgson can kick out of hooker reasonably well.
Is he off to Parramatta next year, Hodgson?
I mean, maybe, I don't know. I haven't kept that close an eye on the Raiders.
Fair enough. Not a team you're paying.
Like all the stuff I heard about them was all that drama they had last year, and then I got sick of hearing all the drama. I'm like, whatever. I tuned out them for a bit because it was just so full on for so long. Yeah.
Into Super Saturday then?
Yes.
Well, allow me to start by saying the Roosters have proven me horribly wrong.
In what way?
Luke Keary's in the 7.
Interesting. I thought they'd put Old Matey there.
Yeah, I thought Walker would stick in the 7 with Keary continuing to do what he does best from 6.
But I mean, do we really think it's going to make much of a difference?
True.
I think they'll each just wear whatever numbers they do and just play their games.
I think it may be just the side of the field they're on or something like that.
Yeah. And yeah, it'll just be a big help for Walker having Keary there.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, yeah, I feel sorry for the
By how
Knights. Hang on, let me add this up. Yeah, the calculator.
Carry the one.
Yeah, carry the one. The calculator says all the points. I think they're getting smashed.
Vicious promo shot.
What the hell?
Always here.
Oh, hi Chloe, I can hear you.
Ryan can hear you.
You are now officially a co-host of the stream. Welcome.
You're officially a co-host of the stream. Welcome. She's just been enjoying the Panthers squad swipe, namely James Fisher Harris's picture.
Of course she has.
Have you seen the one she's talking about?
No, but I'm going to have to now.
Go have a look. Yep.
I'll have to mute myself for 5 seconds.
It's so bad.
It is eerily quiet on the eve of the season.
As I said, I had to mute myself for a second. The children were beckoning. I don't know.
Yes, they
I
do.
can't see the pictures, but that she might be talking about.
Is it on the Panthers official?
And they use fish so much. Everywhere you look, there's a picture of fish or Cleary somewhere.
She's going to send it to you so you can see.
All right, awesome.
In the meantime, back to the Knights.
I feel sorry for them. I really do.
It's not looking great, is it?
No. I mean, even the good teams are going to be worried about the Roosters, so they're probably a bit concerned. Like, I used to work with a guy at my previous store who was a Knights fan. Really good guy. So I don't like saying it, but yeah.
Roosters by plenty.
Yeah, Roosters by all of them. Unless they have an off day, but yeah, I don't think, like, even, I think at worst, it'll be like 2 tries. That's at absolute best for the Knights, I reckon.
Yeah.
And I'm really not trying to be mean, I mean, maybe Ponga has the game of his life. I mean, I'm expecting Clifford to have a reasonable year. Like, there are good things about them. But overall, as a roster, I don't know.
Really inspire you with all the confidence in the world, does it?
No, I'd be... Yeah, not really. Yeah, I wouldn't be going into this year particularly happy if I was a Knights fan.
Mm-hmm. They do seem kind of optimistic. I guess they're hopeful of the making the finals streak continuing, but yeah, it's hard to see.
Yeah.
It is a bit tough to see.
Yeah.
Okay, over to Warriors versus Dragons.
They do have some some skill there. Like, they could pull some miracle wins out in that. I mean, it's always possible.
Have you seen a few have started tipping them for the wooden spoon recently?
That might be a bit extreme. I mean, fair enough. Maybe not top 4 or top 8, maybe, but oof, wooden spoon. That's
Bit harsh. I think I was even going bit brave putting them in for friggin' 14th, but I don't know. Maybe my brave call might end up being pretty accurate. I'll be pretty impressed if it is.
Yeah, no, I don't see that. But let's pull it up. All right, so I've got it up on screen. Here we got Fish in all his glory that is sending Chloe crazy. And hey, who could blame her? It's a good picture.
He says it's even better on the big screen.
What have I done? I've ruined. But no, he goes well.
All right.
Now I wish it was on right now. You've ruined me.
This time in 48 hours, you'll be in the middle of the first half watching your team begin their premiership defense.
Oh, it's gonna be good. I can't wait. But yeah, it's just such a shame that Nathan's out. Like, why can't the NRL just put a rule in, just ban injuries? Like with all the
right?
Yeah, they've put all these
Those
rule changes,
pesky bloody injuries.
but it's the one thing they refuse to do. This is a choice that the NRL are making right now.
How dare they, honestly?
Yeah, ruining the sport. But yes.
Shall we move on to Warriors versus Dragons?
Yes, let's, because I don't have to keep it mean to the Knights. I feel so bad.
I mean, fair.
I feel like a monster.
Nah, it's all good.
He's like, nah, we keep copping it. Fuck the rest of you. Yeah, let's have a look. Chanel Harris to beat, obviously, with someone's suspension. Won't go into details.
No.
I don't know. How do you see this one? I don't know. The Warriors roster, like if the Knights roster worries me, this one is even worse, I reckon, just looking through it now. Harris Tavita, Watani Zalesniak, Viliami,
their forwards
Bella.
aren't terrible.
No, and if they're going to win, they're going to have to basically play like 8 out of 10 to 10 out of 10 every week, sort of in that top range. Otherwise, it's going to be a bit garbage for them. Because, I mean, Sean Johnson is good, but again, he's got the Moylan problem where he's starting to have injuries creep in a bit.
Yep.
I don't know, maybe it's something about the Sharks. Who knows? Cody Nikarima. Again, good, but in his own way, like he's a good runner of the ball. You're not going to want to rely on him for running the team. I don't know. Yeah. It's tough. It's basically like an average roster with some good forwards versus an average roster with some good rookies. Like, well, you said the other game was a bit 50-50.
The Dragons rookies are going to come good later in the year too. I think it's just too little too late potentially. I mean, they're playing Moses Sembai at 14 and Woods at 10, so my confidence in them has already diminished.
Yeah, I can't pick this one. I mean,
Gajewski's a decent pickup from Manly, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you put a gun to my head and said, right, you've got a pick, you can't sit on the fence. I mean, I'll take the Warriors just on the forwards, I guess, if I had to pick something out.
Yeah, I'm leaning to them ever so slightly.
But man, there is such a lack of confidence in picking either of these teams. It's hard to tell. And especially round one, like we'll get a sense of teams as we go. Like, say for example, like maybe the Knights gel, and we go, oh, okay. There's always at least one team I think that catches everyone by surprise. It's gonna be interesting to see who that is.
Hopefully, it's the Tigers.
He's like, come on,
pretty please.
I think that'll be it, but who knows? We'll see. We'll see. Speaking of the Tigers,
Yeah, let's get into that, shall we?
we might as well get there. I mean, you have a thing about the Storm at the start of the year. No idea why. The NRL like to have you guys just bang the Storm up against you.
Yeah, it's not going to be pleasant, I think.
And especially you said you've got a lot of outs.
We do.
Because I remember
we do
that obviously
indeed.
the Storm have their outs, but then I underestimated what you had out. Like I said, especially Blue, like he's so like if you had him on that other edge, you'd probably have two actually really good second rowers. I think that'd keep you right in it.
Yep.
But I don't know. It's
I
hard to
like
pick.
our bench better than theirs. Having Tyron Wishart and Jaden Nikarima makes them look a little bit light on the bench.
Well, that's what they did last year in the finals. People said it before the game at their comments before the game saying, "Oh, their bench will be a bit light compared to us," and that's exactly what happened.
There's Trent Liero too. I think he's a back.
I'm not sure.
Oh, he's a second rower.
Again, he's not even an out-and-out prop, so they're basically running one prop.
One prop.
A second rower.
So are we.
I mean, I guess.
It's really interesting because we are too. Or Seyfarth is Seyfarth's second rower. So we've got
Seyfarth, McKaylee, Toa, Madden, Simpkins.
We've got a utility. We've got two second rowers, and we've got a front rower.
So you don't really have much of an advantage then.
The Storm have a halfback / hooker, a hooker, a second rower, and a front rower. I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe one of their reserves come in, but I haven't heard of most of them.
Yeah, so
that's going to be interesting.
I mean, if you're going to beat them, now's the time. Like this week would be your shot to do it.
I think we have the backs. I'm not a fan of George Jennings on the wing. I don't think Xavier Coates is going to go all that well for them either. So I feel like we have the backs.
Well, Coates is an interesting one. A lot of people will like, he's the kind of player who will excel under a Craig Bellamy type. So it's like, if that comes to fruition or not.
So because it's a question everyone's going to ask, I can confirm that Brooks is named to be captain.
Good. I like it.
Well, we've only got, I think, 2 of the 5 captains available for this one.
Still just name him captain, give him some responsibility, see how he goes. I mean, pretty much every single human in the world has said it's going to be Dewey anyway.
Was Peachy one of the 5 captains?
Probably. I deliberately avoided that one. That wasn't even an accident because it was just, I don't know.
Okay, so we have 3 of our captains playing.
Hey, NSL's here. Hello, National Sports Loaded.
Hey, NSL. Just in the nick of time for us to get to your game after we get through mine.
Do you guys have a feeling that the Tigers might get an upset here? Because weirdly enough, I do. By looking at their team, I think 12 will work his hardest, and I agree Jennings on the wing is mid. I mean, has 12 ever not worked hard?
Hashtag try for 12. Let's go.
Yep. He still has Storm under 12. I mean, I can see why. I mean, I think most people will do that, but and I would pick Storm under 12. But if they're ever going to get the Storm, now is the time to do it. Like, this is the game. You will not get a better week.
Exactly. it's as good as chance as any because of the outs that they've got. I'm surprised to see Pappenhausen though. By the way, Bellamy was speaking post game after the trial against the Knights. It looked like he was going to be long odds to play.
Well, he's been named. So maybe it was just mind games or something.
I wonder if they have a fullback in their reserves. Eremiah's a winger. Alec McDonald, whoever that is. Can't even access his profile. Jack Howarth is a centre. Can't access Sualavi Farlogo or Bronson Garlic. Jonah Pezzett is a halfback. And Will Warbrick is a winger.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. If he's named him there, I think he's probably confident he's going to play.
Which makes me sad.
Yes.
I
Tigers,
would like the upset, but I don't see it happening, unfortunately.
yeah. NSL said the Tigers' draw after the Storm is pretty tough. Don't you have a better draw this year?
Yeah, we do have a better draw this year. I mean, all of the teams we play in the first 6 weeks finished ahead of us, but when you finish with only 3 teams below you, that's likely.
It's going to happen anyway.
But based on the signings and everything, I do think we had, and like the way we played in that trial against the Roosters, I like our start. I think we will go okay. I was saying earlier, NSL, I reckon our best case scenario in the first 6 rounds is 4 wins, 2 losses, and that's if I'm being generous. More likely looking at a 3-3 record to start the year. The ones that I'm considering to be the 50-50s are the Titans and the Sharks. But at the very least, we should fancy ourselves against both the Knights and the Warriors.
Yeah. If you can't at least go 50-50 with them and make a contest of it, then you're pretty much stuffed. There's no chance.
Yeah, we need to get off to a good start. Otherwise, the pressure will be back on.
Yeah.
If we can come out of Easter Monday 3-3, I think that'd be acceptable. We then have the Rabbits and the Dragons, so we then could end up being 4-4.
Yeah.
And then potentially 5-5 after Magic Round with the Eagles and the Cowboys in 9 and 10. So I feel like the best case scenario for the Tigers is keep that win-loss record as close as possible to even throughout the year.
It's just a nice realistic one. Like, it's not putting too much pressure on. It gives you room to lose games still against better teams and not freak out and pile the pressure on.
Yeah, if we can come out of Magic Round with a 5-5 record, we then have an alright looking Origin period. We've got a few tough games. Bunnies in 12, Rabbits in 14, Eels in 17, and Panthers in 18. But both of those two will be without Origin players most likely. So,
Still, I can't believe they did that. One of the biggest rivalries they have, and they decided to put it during freaking Origin.
Again.
And it's like, sure, it's fun for 5 minutes, but everyone forgets about it and no one cares. It's a below quality game. The only good thing about the game is the emotion from the fans. The actual quality of the game isn't that great because at least one of the teams is like a reserve grade team. It just takes away from it. I think I'd rather see both teams be full strength and watch them bang against each other and everyone's worked up and a fun day. I'm not even talking about score lines. It's just when you've got those kind of rivalries, you don't want to see either of the teams be below average.
Pretty much. So who's your tip for this one? You gonna head or heart?
I am notoriously bad at picking on emotion and not fact. So I'm going to tip the Tigers.
Oof. By how many?
Just 1 to 12.
Okay.
You know, somewhere in
no
there.
definitive closer number.
If I had to pick a number, I'd probably say 4.
Well, I like this. You're tipping my team, and I am tipping against my team.
Yeah, like the objective football side of me is like, no, they're gonna lose. But yeah. So
I mean, I'm gonna be at the game. I'd love nothing more than to see them win. I really would.
But I mean, I assume the odds are going to keep blowing out the closer it gets, like right till kickoff. It's
Probably. I mean,
right.
the Storm are now $1.25 out to the Tigers $4, while I think opening odds were the Storm at like $1.50 to the Tigers $3.20 or something. So
yeah,
teams have dropped, and as expected, our odds have decreased.
Yeah, which is fair. Like I said, it's hard to.
I mean, we're one of the favourites for the spoon, so
yeah, against one of the best teams in the comp. So no sane person will tip against the Storm, obviously. But I'm not particularly sane. Oh, and Aaron died. You got too excited. Are you there? So yeah, he may have been talking, but that he's not coming through. So looks like it's just us. Nice and intimate. Yeah. AJ says even Storm 1 to 12 is paying $3.40. Yeah, that's how bad it is. I feel sorry for the Tigers. Oh. And yeah, talking about the Tigers, and our Tigers co-host is gone.
I'm back.
Oh, he's back. He is alive.
I went panic stations. My laptop battery died.
Oops. Is NSL here? Because our next game is the Eels.
All right, I'm gonna ask NSL the question because I really want to hear his thoughts on it. Everyone's saying that the Eels premiership window closes after this year. 1, does it close after this year? 2, do you think the Eels will win the premiership? Honestly.
The suspense. There is a delay between
suspense while he types.
Yes, there is a delay between us talking and what comes through. But
yeah, okay, he agrees that it's the last year.
there you go. Interesting to hear a fan of the team say that. I mean, it's not unfair, especially losing Reed Marnie. I don't even know how they get that pronunciation out of Mahoney.
No, neither.
It really bugs me every time I read it and you hear it spoken. It's just confusing me. Yeah.
Players like Marnie and Papali'i leaving, our coach Arthur will have some pressure on him this year. Yeah, he absolutely does have a bit of pressure on him.
Yeah, like that's not even Like that's a whole nother level. Like we went with us losing Burton. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, you lost Burton." That is a whole nother level to that because that's your hooker and one of your best forwards. Like that is massive.
It's been bloody 36 years for goodness sake, but I will not be convinced if we get through semis. That's all. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, the semis are that hurdle.
Well, yeah. To be fair, I think you were a lot better chance against us in the finals if you actually had a hooker. You're playing what? You're like 6th string hooker or something. I mean, that's gotta hurt.
Well and truly down the ranks.
Yeah. And he had some errors, some pretty bad errors that game as well. So, but yeah, I definitely agree. I think if they don't win it this year, they've got to restart basically.
Yep.
Which is a bit of a shame.
And the restart's going to take a while because they're going to have to go through and.
Which is interesting because
through again.
They have made a bit of finals lately, so you'd think players would want to go there, and they've got their new stadium and everything. So I don't know. I am surprised they've not got more players sorting themselves to go there.
I mean, they've had a good record of making finals in recent years.
So I mean, it's not like they're a completely unsuccessful club. At least in a sense, they've got something they can advertise to people. They said, "Your new ground, you've been playing finals." I mean, so I don't know. It's interesting.
I think 2016 or 2018. Yeah, so they missed finals in 2018, made them in 2017, and missed due to salary cap issues in 2016. But since then, so 2019 onwards, they've made finals every year.
Yeah. So at least they've got something to advertise to players. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on there. NSL says one person on his ladder predicted Mitchell Moses did get the Dally M this year. Interesting. That is pretty bold. I don't know.
That is a very bold prediction.
I mean, he's got the potential, I guess. It's a matter of whether he can stay up there, and obviously injuries permitting as well. The Eels have that thing where they like to drop off for a month at a time. So, I mean, if they can not do that, then yeah.
Yep.
But it seems to happen every year.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of pressure on Mitch. Did you watch 360 last night?
No, I didn't. Why? What was on there?
So they had Brad Arthur on. He was saying he was asked about Mitch, and apparently Mitch has been able to really curb his aggression and actually talk to his teammates in a bit of a better way at training. So he's hopeful that that'll translate out onto the field, and the communication in that regard from his halfback will be a bit better and not as aggressive or volatile.
Well, that's what they need. Like, you can't
I have really fun memories of a really bad sentence that Mitchell Moses uttered or screamed
yes, I remember.
one of his players against the Tigers on Easter Monday a few years back.
Yeah. And
2018, I think it was. That year they won the Spoon.
Yeah, and I get that want to call it being competitive and that, but you want to be a leader on field. You've got to actually lead people. You can't just scream at them to get them to do what you want. And eventually, wears thin. It's what I said about Magic before. Like, there is a limit to how many times you can scream at someone before they just tune out.
Yeah, it's not going to work. The more you do it, the less it'll work.
Exactly. You gotta. I think the sort of saying in rugby league is you get like 1 or 2 a year as a coach. I mean, and if your halves are doing it every game, I mean, it just loses.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll move on to the last game so we can get going. I'll be here all night, as exciting as it is.
Spoonathon. Nah. Round 1, Spoonathon.
Yeah, it's... Again, I don't like being mean to teams. I really don't. So don't take it the wrong way, any fans of those teams. It's just, I don't know. This is going to be one of those games where it could surprise you, but yeah. I mean, I'm going to pick the Bulldogs just for hope's sake. But yeah, I don't even know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I've got no clue who to pick in this one. No clue whatsoever. I think I'm pretty much going to leave my tip for this one to the last minute. I might be back home from Sydney by then. Either that or I might have to pull over and finalise a tip before kickoff.
Yeah. It'll be one of those ones where you just close your eyes and hit a button and see what happens.
Yeah. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah.
Cows 1 to 12, you reckon? Okay. Fair enough.
I could see it being as likely as the other way, honestly. I don't know.
So I reckon the Dogs have the forwards. If the forwards play to their best and don't lose their heads, because obviously you look at that second row pairing, you've got Jack Hetherington and Tavita Pangai Jr. Then you've also got Luke Thompson as a prop. That is a very volatile forward pack.
Well, yeah, they could all end up suspended by the end by next week.
They could all end up sent off by the end of the game.
Yeah, so it's like it's one of those things where you can get a really good output, or everyone's sent off, and then you're playing with 3 down. It's like, what? I don't know. They're both teams. It's going to take a few rounds just to see what they're doing.
Yeah, so I feel like they've got the forwards, but the Cowboys have the backs just. I mean, Dufty's decent. Brent Naden and Adokar are really good.
Well, at least they've got
not too much on their other side with Ockenbaugh and Braden Burns.
At least they've got a bit of that speed. I mean,
yeah.
So,
and as for the Cowboys backs, I like pretty much all of them except for Chualangi. Like you've got the Hammer, Felt, Holmes, and Hiku. That's a pretty solid back line.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't think about that game. I've got nothing for that one. I'm gonna need to watch them a couple of games this year with them to see where they're at.
Yeah, and then obviously, like we said, the Bulldogs have got that horrible start. If they don't get wins in rounds 1 and 2, they're going to be 0-6, and then the knives are going to come out for Trent Barrett nice and quick.
Oh, yeah. No, NSL said, I think a lot of people are underestimating them this year. And hey, it'll be good if we are, and if they have a good season. It's just, I'm going to need to see them.
I'm not underestimating them. They're my pick for the wooden spoon.
Yeah. I'll wait till the first month is done and then get a feel for what's happening with them, because, like I said, there will be some surprises. It happens every year. There's always teams that, at least 1 or 2 teams that drop out of the 8 and 1 or 2 that go into the 8. That is a foregone conclusion.
Sometimes up to 3.
Yeah, that happens every single year. So, and then there's always that one team that just shocks everyone. So we'll see how that goes.
That's that final game of the round is potentially an anything game.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest anything game of the entire round. We've got a couple in there, but I think that's the biggest. Have we got any closing thoughts?
Let's rapid fire our early tips. So team and either 1 to 12 or 13 plus. You first. Sure. Go for it.
Alright, so if I go
Panthers, Eagles.
So we go Panthers, Raiders, Rabbitohs, Roosters, Warriors, Tigers, shut up, Eels, Bulldogs.
And are any of those 13 plus?
No.
All of them 1 to 12?
Actually, no, Roosters. All right. Night,
Okay.
NSL. We'll catch you next week.
Not NSL. So you've got 1 13 plus, the rest are all 1 to 12.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially being round one, like I said, I don't know. It's
Yeah, it's round 1 is always very, very hard to judge.
like things will settle after the first sort of 3 or 4 games, and you get that first month out of the way, and you start getting a feel for everything, and you can start being a bit more confident then. I mean, some teams obviously you can be more confident than others, but yeah.
Yep.
Right now,
Alright, so
like,
I'm going to go.
yep.
I still really don't know about game 2. Gosh darn it.
Gosh darn it.
I'm going to go Panthers, Sharks, Rabbits, Roosters, Warriors, Storm, Eels, and Cowboys. And the only ones of those that are going to be 13 plus are the Rabbits and the Roosters.
Ooh, he's picking the Rabbits for 13 plus as well.
Yeah, I did say around the 2 to 3 tries, so I'll lean towards like 14, 16 points ish.
I mean, if anyone's probably going to do it, I think they can. They've got some talent in there still.
I'm just not sure about the Broncos halves pairing because obviously no Adam Reynolds. They're very light on Billy Walters and Albert Kelly. I just don't see it working out. Billy Walters and Adam Reynolds, maybe, but yeah, with Walters and Kelly, I don't see them keeping it particularly close.
Yeah. Not a lot of points in that.
Well,
my only thing with the Rabbitohs is just obviously new coach and new halves and whatnot. Give them a few weeks to sort of gel. If this was like a round 5 game, I'd probably give them a bit more. Like, I'm already tipping them to win, but I'll say 1 to 12 for now. But give them a few weeks, and I think the Rabbitohs will hit their stride.
Yep, I definitely agree with that.
I mean, especially, they've got a rookie halfback in there, so.
Yeah, for sure. I am super bloody keen to head to CommBank Stadium on Saturday, as long as I can make it from Orange. That's kind of priority number 1.
Well, yeah.
Would be very, very helpful if I can actually make it to Sydney.
That's going to be the fun part.
But I hope that when we come back for our stream next week that I've still got somewhat of a voice.
You already got a couple of days to recover.
I tell you what, though, if the Tigers beat the Storm, the party's going to go on for the rest of the weekend. Sunday and Monday is my normal weekend from work, so I'll be enjoying that one.
Yeah, that'll be good. Hopefully they do, but we'll see. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there for myself. Early work and all that. But it's been fun little casual. Yeah, it's been a fun little casual, not too stressy live stream. Obviously, things are about to get more serious. The season kicking off.
Bring it on.
Yes, can't wait. And let's start watching it.
Thanks for everyone who tuned in throughout the night.
Yes, thank you for the
people who
came.
As always, to have your company.
Chat was unusually quiet.
Thank you for the birthday wishes from those who gave them to me.
Yes. Hey, hopefully it's been good anyway.
I hope everyone enjoys the footy. Bring on round 1.